gotta get this out. I'm sorry. Hey, I was just about to go and I was just gonna go in the shower, and all of a sudden I started hearing this. Damn! I started hearing this. And then keep on listening. Who sing that? Until you use me up. Hey, so this is what God put on my heart. I gotta get this out. He said, oh my God. He said, don't be letting people exploit your gifts. Either stop letting people exploit your gifts or don't let them exploit your gifts. Just because you got a gift in some area, specific niche, some specific talent, something that's just a God-given gift that you know if it wasn't for God, you would not be able to do this thing. You just know this thing. Whatever it is, it's special to you. He said, don't be letting people exploit that gift. You deserve to get rest. You deserve to pour into yourself. You deserve to have timeouts and take breaks and not feel obligated to be on all the time. He's like, no, because at the end of the day, you not God. Yeah, we are all here to serve, but you are a spiritual being having a human experience. So at some point you have to rest this physical vessel. You have to do it. You have to rest it. You have to stop and you have to do something mindless, something that you want to do. But I started hearing that song. I was just about to run in the bathroom and I heard dun, 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 dun. And keep on using me till you use me up. And see, people can do that unintentionally and intentionally. They will exploit your gifts, whether it's an actual talent that you are sharing or expressing, or whether you're extremely empathic and nurturing and somebody who's really good at anticipating other people's needs and can sense where help is needed, and you're an extreme giver. That's a gift. To be a giver is actually a gift. But guess what? When you're a giver, you always got a taker on the other end looking to siphon from you. My mama would always say that when she was alive. Crystal, there's givers and there's takers. So be mindful of that. If you got a heart to like to give and help and contribute, don't let nobody exploit your gift. And you be sure you give back to yourself so you can be sure you be here for a long time. Because if you keep giving, eventually you're going to run out of energy. Because essentially, being a giver, you're giving out your energy, your life force energy. So in some way, shape, or form, you have to replenish that. Whether that's getting naps in, resting, spending time in meditation, watching uplifting content that can help refuel you and pour back into you, because that is true. There's givers and there's takers. So if you're a giver or you got gifts, don't let nobody exploit your gifts. And if you have to take a break sometime, don't feel guilty for that. You don't owe nobody nothing. You ain't even supposed to let your kids exploit you. None of that. You have to, it's all about balance. And he put it on my heart. Keep on using me till you use me up. And people can use you beyond finances. It ain't even about money all the time. It's about somebody always, you being an emotional garbage dumpster for somebody constantly. You can hear and listen and all that, but you ain't supposed to continually be an emotional dumpster for somebody. Because then who gonna be there for you? But I heard that. Don't let nobody exploit your gifts, and don't be feeling guilty when you got to pull back your energy, because you're the only somebody who's responsible for being sure that you are getting nurtured and poured into and fulfilled. And sometimes you have to give that to yourself. You can't expect nobody to give that to you. So if you want to stay alive, you got to be sure you pour back into yourself. You can't just keep pouring out your energy, even if it's a divine gift in some way, shape, or form. He said, don't let nobody exploit your gifts, and don't let nobody guilt trip you and what's the word? Guilt trip you and gaslight you into thinking that you got to keep pouring out your damn energy, because you don't. Everybody deserves a break sometime. So I just wanted to jump on here and share that, because I said, oh, somebody need to know that. Because life and societally and your family situation, it'll have you thinking you're supposed to be doing that. And you can't keep pouring out them sayings like, give somebody the shirt off your back. I give somebody my last dime. That's fine. I'll give somebody my last. But it's like your last. So what? How you gonna live? Like you got to make sure you are abundant and have a plethora of things, so you ain't giving your last. Cause God damn it, you got to live. You got to survive. Your last energy. your last energy. So like you about to damn near croak over, but instead you figure out some way to muscle up the energy, knowing you need to be asleep or doing something to replenish yourself. You will just give it out because you trying to save face. That go back to that people pleasing shit. No, because that'll have you 6 feet under. So he said, don't be letting nobody exploit your gifts. I don't care if it's something, a God-given gift. Sometimes you have to press pause and refuel yourself. You got to do that. Because essentially giving your energy out, that's life force. That's your life force energy. You only got so much. And if you don't refuel yourself, eventually, when you empty yourself out emotionally, mentally, spiritually, eventually having constant depletion of those energies, it'll manifest into some sickness in your body. And then the next thing you know, you can get ill like that. So he said, don't be letting nobody exploit your gifts. Whatever your specific gift is, it ain't even got to be necessarily nothing that you share on social media, but you know what you gifted at. Whether you are a problem-solving person, super empathic, you know how to help people get out of situations. You know how to be on and be there for people. You always a shoulder to cry on. At some point, you got to turn that off though. Because people will exploit that gift. That's a gift. When you got something that's natural to you like that you can help people with that thing, whatever that thing is. You can be a damn hairdresser, a beautician, or a barber. He just said, don't be letting nobody exploit that gift though. Because even the beauticians and beauty salons and stuff, they be having you wanting you to be open 19 hours out of the day and coming and doing their hair, and they just expect you to just be willing to do that. No, if the shop is closed, the shop is closed. If the kitchen's closed, the kitchen's closed. You just can't be doing that, man, because that'll take you out of here with my lopsided hamburger. But he put it on my mind. Who sang that song? Dum 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 dum. I just heard it. Dum dum dum. Keep on using me till you use me up. And if you've been programmed and conditioned and groomed to think that you're supposed to keep giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, and that's how I was raised. So I'm supposed to just give till I damn near. Because what happens if you don't find a balance in that, sometimes God will sit you down. He'll save you from yourself. He'll sit you down for a minute, whether that's making you sprain your damn ankle or your knee will give out. He'll do something to slow you down to protect you from yourself, especially when he know there's some kind of psychological wound, there's some programming or conditioning inside you that make you think you got to keep giving and pouring from an empty, what they say, don't pour from an empty cup. You can't do that because if the cup is empty, eventually it's so dry. So then what's going to happen? You deplete it. And you can't be depleting your vessel. And at the end of the day, you are a spiritual being, but you got a physical existence. So you got to take care of your vessel, man. You can't be depleting it like that. So he said, don't let nobody exploit your gifts, whatever it is. Even if it's coming from a good place, sometimes you have to say no. Don't be afraid to say no. No is a complete sentence. And if giving out your energy and doing something for somebody else mean what they say, if saying yes to somebody else mean you saying no to you, don't do it. You can't do it. Because whatever you're doing, it's got to be in balance. It's got to be in balance. It's got to be reciprocal. The energy got to be a reciprocal exchange. It's got to be requited. It ain't about no lopsided, one-sided nothing. Because like my mom would say, there's givers and there's takers. And if you are a giver from a good place, believe me, a taker is always on the prowl. And they'll use your ass up, whether it's energetically, whether it's lean on me, all that old shit. And the moment you need something or need someone to confide to and all that, nobody's there because you've always been that one. Plus, that's painting a false narrative that you're some superhuman person who never have issues and never needs somebody to listen to you sometime, never needs somebody to lotion your back sometime. So it'd be creating all type of illusions in both ways. So he just said, have the balance, know how to say no. No is a complete sentence. And don't let nobody gaslight you, make you feel guilty about that. Because at the end of the day, you are responsible for being sure that you continue to live and survive in terms of just taking care of yourself, getting enough sleep, not letting people juice you like that. Because people was, like they say, vampires are real. Vampires meaning them energy sucking ass people who always wanting something from you. That's what a vampire is, technically. So just be mindful of that. Because typically people with gifts in whatever way are typically extremely generous. And that's how you can get your ass juiced and you'll wind up in somebody's hospital because you depleted. And sometimes that's how God will stop you from doing it, to teach you a lesson and heal you of that people-pleasing ass wound that make you think you got to do all that for validation and acceptance, even if it means it puts you in the hospital for temporary. No, that's silly. So he said, just be mindful of that. So I wanted to get that out. That song popped in my head random. I'm like, what the? Oh, God. Okay, that means something. Because I see it often. And in fact, in some ways, I used to be like that. I get it now. I don't really care. I'll say no, 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 no. Because you can't pour from an empty cup. And if you continue to do it, you'll be. I think that's one of the reasons my mom passed away earlier than she should have. Because she was an extremely generous person and always considered other people's feelings and wanted to save the day, wanted to be helpful. But essentially, that continual, perpetual being the problem solver, the helper, the giver, she was sharing that wisdom with me, but wasn't even applying it in her own life. And she did not pour back into herself, not the way she should. Not the way she should. And that's why they say when you continuously focus on your energy outward and trying to be a problem solver for other people outside of you, no, at some point you have to look at the man in the mirror, because whatever you think you're doing and getting validation for doing outside of you, you are definitely missing some major shit that's going on with you. Some major shit like that you should have maybe been going and seeing your general practitioner for sometime, getting this looked at. But you be ignoring it. If you're distracted with external things, you are definitely ignoring what's going on with you on your physical vessel, outside of you, within you, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. You be overlooking your own shit. And it could be something that could save your life. So that's why they say you got to focus your energy back in on yourself and don't let nobody exploit your gifts. And don't feel guilty about that. And that's some terms like have healthy boundaries and all of that, man. You have to. Otherwise, you're going to be dead if you don't. So that's just something to keep in mind. I love y'all. And I had to hop on here looking crazy and I don't give a damn because I said, no, that's heavy. Because I know a lot of people live like that and think that that's what they got to do in order to have value and meaning. Look, because if you don't take care of yourself, once you gone, you gone. And then they're going to be carrying the hell on and be sucking energy from somebody else. So keep it in mind, man, whoever come across this. I hope it's helpful. And I'm going to go. Okay, I'm going. All right, bye.